Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by GhostBed.com. Whoa! Welcome to Ross Patterson Revolution. Are we allowed to say revolution anymore?
Why? Oh, I don't know. You never know. You never know. Thanks for having me.
It's real iffy, by the way.
Of what?
Being dead serious. I got something from, we're about to launch like ads and things like that for AdSense and Google. Google owns YouTube. And the word revolution got flagged. Yeah.
But wouldn't it be a good thing? I don't know.
Apparently
not.
not.
Revolution? No.
I don't know. I feel like everybody's saying that word these days. The fact that it got flagged through Google was pretty shocking. But, you know, I think we're starting off every show with who's getting canceled right now.
Yeah.
And, you know, today was Gavin McInnes. Gavin McInnes is canceled.
That's right.
He's all done.
He is all done. A la Alex Jones a little bit. Like,
yes.
He's taken off of everything. I don't know where he's going to put his stuff. I think.
So he has his own website,
yeah.
a la Alex Jones.
Yeah.
And hey, whatever's going on back there, like it's cutting out the sound. And we've had enough tech issues that
Got it.
I can just do this from my cell phone in the middle of fucking Times Square at this point. Gavin McInnes he's got his own websites. Like
okay, that's what I thought.
Alex Jones style. And there's...
So the YouTube was just like an extra?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I would say I think he's got 4 or 5 shows on there.
Okay.
Which everybody's recommended to do these days because they're trying to cancel everyone. We'll start with Gavin McInnes today. Hard to describe because I like Gavin McInnes or who he used to be, I should say. He was the co-founder of Vice.
Right.
Back in the day. He got into it with his other co-founder, and he ended up getting bought out of the deal. Mm-hmm. Rumor has it was for a massive chunk of money. And after that, he kind of started his own show, did his own movie. One was called How to Be a Man.
I really liked it.
Huge fan of it. It was on Netflix. It was an independent film.
I liked him. He's really funny.
He was really funny, and it was a really, really funny movie.
So it's more so the Proud Boys, right, that people take issue with, not necessarily himself, because he pushes the boundaries of what free speech means. And he does these things to show you that free speech, no matter if you like it or not, that's what it is. Yeah. Right? And that it's not going to hurt you. And under the Constitution, it is protected to be able to say whatever you want. Not do whatever you want. Right. Not hurt whoever you want. But literally the words that come out of your mouth, right? Mm-hmm. I think the Proud Boys gets into a realm of when Alex Jones was like making those, telling those people to go do things, right? And like making a cult-like situation. So had he not had the Proud Boys, I feel like maybe, right? Just him by himself would have been a different story. And the Proud Boys is really just a big troll. And nobody fucking gets it. But
so here's the deal with the Proud Boys. Here's the deal with Gavin McInnes from me personally. He was supposed to be on the show. Yeah. So I've been in contact with him, I don't know, probably over the course of a year, back and forth through email.
He did say, be careful about talking about me favorably. They're coming after anyone who does.
He did. I'm just stating facts here at this point.
Sure.
It's not favorably or besides me liking his film. I
think I said I liked him too.
I don't really give a shit. I don't know too much about him. What I can say is this: he was supposed to come on Drinkin Bros, and at that point, he had founded the Proud Boys. They were doing whatever the fuck it is they do.
It was just some dumb
and
thing.
Whatever. It was kind of like a white hipster Fight Club type of deal.
Fight Club cult /
troll,
fraternity, troll,
whatever you want to call
whatever.
it, right? And it was kind of his troll on society.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's when shit got real. He was supposed to be on the show, and the feds ended up raiding his fucking house. So...
Oh, when we were supposed to have him on?
Yes. The week, I would say maybe 3 or 4 days prior, and the feds ended up raiding his house. The Proud Boys were classified at that point, I think, as a terrorist organization, and that's when he shut it all down. So he said, he came out with a statement and said, I'm not a member of the Proud Boys anymore, and this organization was a joke, and blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. And kind of left it like that, and then distanced himself from it. It still exists, and we had one of the heads on the show.
Oh, that's right.
On Drinkin Bros, we interviewed one of the head of the Proud Boys just to see what it was about, because you hear it, and you're like, what is it? And we had him on the show, and it was kind of childish and trollish, but not really harming anyone, to be honest with you. And there's not really a lot of them. I would say 2,000 members, I think they had, or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's a weird thing that's kind of been blown out of proportion. They do an event once a year because that's all they can kind of afford.
Yeah.
At that point. So
when you
I don't know. I have a hard time with it. But anyways, during all of this, he had gotten back to me and said, hey, man, I'm going through some things in my life. Blah, 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 and I can't do the show, and you'll understand why when it hits the media. Then all of this shit came out. Then I shared an agent with him, my lit agent.
That's right.
Repped him in his book, and Vice in all of their books, and they live in the same neighborhood. And so I asked him, I was just like, hey, man, what's really going on with him? What happened with the feds and all that other shit? And it was like, dude, we live in the same neighborhood. It's fucked. They all want him out of here, the HOAs, and obviously everybody else. I can't imagine. Same with Alex Jones, because I
know. Hey, I always wonder where he lives and like what.
So I asked him, and I was like, "Hey, do you live in like a normal neighborhood, or do you have like a ranch? That you live on some compound?"
If I were him, I would.
I would too. But apparently he's got kids, and he wants his kids to have a normal life and go to public school, and usual shit. Mm-hmm. So he lives in a gated community. I know that, but. It's a normal neighborhood, and they fucking hate him. That's what he told me. He's like, hey, man, they fucking hate me. I can tell you Gavin's neighbors hate him in that neighborhood.
For sure.
Anybody who lives or works out of New York City is pretty much confined to this one neighborhood that's about, 40, 50 minutes outside of New York City. You can't actually live in the city and have your kids go to school there. You could. It's a weird life. I mean, you're in private school, and, there's just nowhere to play. You don't,
I always thought it seemed fun to grow up in the city and be like, I'm from New York.
Yeah, from New York, baby.
Born and raised,
baby.
Alphabet City, baby.
Yeah. But it's not.
Douche.
When I lived there.
Yes and no.
Here's the thing. When I lived there, I lived outside of a private elementary school. It was next door. And I didn't have a mustache at the time, so I was still allowed to do that. But I would see these kids come in and out, and they were wearing, the uniforms, and everybody looked the same. And then some of them would get into cars to go home. Not their parents, but drivers.
Drivers. Yeah.
Like cars
for sure.
of hey, your driver's here.
For sure.
That's a weird existence. It is.
What's weird?
You're getting in the back of a Lincoln Town car to go home to see Mommy and Poppy on the Upper East Side. It's weird, man. And I was like, I was with Clay. Clay was at that point, we were living out there for a show on MTV. And he was like, look at them. They're just kind of playing basketball on this one thing. It was caged in, but you could see the streets, and it's still New York City. And you're like, man, your entire elementary school experience is inside of this fence and this cage where you can see cars and cabs and people honking and screaming and all that other shit going on around you. And then what? You go home, and where do you play with your friends? You don't go outside. Where do you go?
I don't know. They just seemed so much more like if you were a kid. So I'm thinking about this when I was a kid in Ojai, right?
Sure.
And I would think about these kids that grew up in New York City from like a little kid, and they just seemed so mature beyond their, do you know what I mean? Like so much more mature than a kid that was, because you have to be
You're gonna
very
hear
independent.
And see shit before everybody else.
And they just seem like they could fucking handle shit at like a very young age. Is that good or bad? I don't know.
I'm just saying. They're doing coke in 6th grade.
Maybe, or maybe they just like know how to fucking get shit done at like an early age and be like, no, I'm not fucking scared. I'm getting in the fucking car. I'm going home. Like, fuck that guy. I don't know. Like, that's how I pictured them.
I think it's a pretty sheltered life. And I don't think you experience the real world. I do, personally. But
I think you have to take care of yourself from a pretty early age, like as far as like walking everywhere, like by yourself. I think they were doing that way before any kid in my neighborhood was even walking down the nice, you know what I mean?
Sure. I agree, but we're getting way off track here with this. But like
what's
with Gavin
off track?
McInnes,
we're just talking
with Gavin McInnes.
Oh, okay. We already kind of talked about him.
Well, I want to finish the fucking story because he got banned. We didn't even tell that, Jessie.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't. So with that, when the Proud Boys got canceled and he stepped down, he moved to a show called Get Off My Lawn. Get Off My Lawn was on iTunes. Is it still on iTunes, by the way, or did that get yanked as well? Because it was ranked neck and neck with like Drinkin Bros on iTunes. So he had that. And then he moved to a more public network, a la YouTube. Mm-hmm. He had 350,000 subscribers, over 30 million views. And it didn't seem to me personally like he was trying to enforce Proud Boys or talking about that anymore, and that he'd kind of gotten away from it. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, he was talking about far-right shit, but it didn't seem anything ban-worthy. Now, last night he got banned, so it's still up there. Okay, and it's the Blaze Podcast Network. So the Blaze is Glenn Beck and those guys. They own that. I don't think they would put somebody on who's super, super far off the reservation Proud Boys on Glenn Beck's network if that wasn't the case. So I'm not sure what he did in these videos. YouTube has classified it as inciting violence, is what they're saying. That's their statement on YouTube. I don't know if he's using interactive videos or whatever, but he's also been banned from Twitter and Facebook as well. So one would have to imagine that it was pretty severe, but I don't know these days. You know, it's a tough call. He released a statement this morning saying he'd been, lifted from every single thing and all that other shits, and that was it. But he still has his internet site that he's going to, and he's going to go live off of every day. And it appears if he's still on iTunes. So,
and he was just suspended from YouTube, but I don't know what that means.
I don't either. I know he was suspended back in, I think, 2016 as well. But either way, he's not making any friends. But it's strange. When you talk to him in real life, he's not really like that. So I'm kind of confused by all of it. Especially because he denounced the Proud Boys and said, I'm getting away from that. And I don't know what to think. We'll see. Like, it again, scares the shit out of me because they're coming for everyone.
Right.
The next step to get canceled today was Tina Fey. So Tina Fey, they came after her, and she went down as well. Apparently, she had used blackface in 30 Rock 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, but she came out down.
She came out and made an apology for it because they came after her on Twitter. The Twitter mob came after her. She released an apology, and then she has now asked for those episodes to be removed and saying that she has grown and blah, 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 blah. 2 years ago, she made a statement saying, I will never fucking bow down to anybody. And all of my episodes and all of my shows and everything that I've written should be judged in the context of the show itself, what was going on at the time, and then let people judge for themselves. I'm never taking anything down. It's 2 years ago. Now she's taking shit down. So Tina Fey, they're trying to cancel. Joe Rogan, they're trying to cancel. Joey Diaz, they're trying to cancel.
How are they trying to cancel Joe Rogan?
So Hashtag
look
cancel
that up?
Joe Rogan is trending from a podcast he did, and it to me it appeared older when I watched the clip, where him and Joey Diaz were kind of making fun of female comics that they were doing sexual shit with on the road and things like that. Joey Diaz came out and was just like, you can't fucking cancel me.
Right.
Fuck you. Fuck you, everybody.
I know that's what you think, but apparently that's not true.
Yeah, so pull up that second article. There it is. The fans are outraged against Joe Rogan, inviting and propagating content. So they've been going after him the last 2 days, him and Joey Diaz. Joey Diaz responded. I have not heard Joe Rogan respond yet to this.
I wouldn't if I were him.
I wouldn't either. And the latest one is Bill Simmons. So late last night, Bill Simmons was trending all night for the same thing of fuck Bill Simmons, cancel Bill Simmons. And Bill Simmons is the head of the Ringer, which is sold to Spotify for $300 million. So he is receiving a lot of backlash for a lack of diversity. They interviewed him about not having more black podcast hosts and producers and things like that. And his response was, look, I am running a network, a media company. This is not an open mic night. Now, the backlash came, obviously, from saying that. And then when they started digging into the shows, apparently, yeah, he's got 0 black editors as well. Look, newsflash, we don't either. We've only got a handful of people here. So, Alec, that is up to you. I'm going to entrust you with that from now on. It's just sweet. I'm kidding. I don't.
We have.
Who fucking knows?
Huh?
Yeah, we
Oh yeah, he's brown.
Are you
Giorgio?
brown, Giorgio?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we got a brownish guy. What's your background?
My grandfather walked from Mexico.
Your grandfather walked from Mexico. Was he drunk?
He was 14.
So when they dug into the Ringer and Bill Simmons,
He has Asians.
yeah, he's got Asians. But here was what they said. They were like, "Hey man, if this is not an open mic night, why does your 14-year-old daughter have a fucking podcast?" I did not know that. And I guess his son is on his show all the time. Look, hosting so many shows a day, I don't get to listen to too many podcasts,
Right.
Because I'm on them. But I guess his son is on all the time, and his daughter's got her own show called like For Realsies or something like that. And they were like, "Dude, if this is not an open mic night, why are your fucking kids working there?"
That's fair. That's fair.
But again, don't say anything. That's the unless you're Joey Diaz. Joey Diaz is like, "Fuck you guys. I'm not apologizing for shit."
Again, but
Joe Rogan's not saying
Joe
anything.
Rogan, if he is smart, I mean, I don't know what his people. I don't think he even has people, but I would say don't address it.
Joe Rogan has people.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
it's
agents. Always been his thing. Right? He says whatever he wants.
Yes.
He talks to all different types of people. He's sort of in the middle as far as political views and things like this, and can see both sides, and is basically an interviewer. So if I were him, I would not say anything.
Yeah, so
and let these times pass, but I'm not sure.
This is the clip that was circulating, by the way. This is one of Rogan's best friends at Mad Flavor, who is Joey Diaz. It's his Twitter handle. Admits to not letting female comedians have stage time unless they give him a blowjob, and then they're all kind of laughing about it. Like whether he was serious or not, I don't fucking know.
I don't fucking know, and I.
But like if you show the picture of that video,
right?
Because that's how old it was.
Yeah.
Do you remember how? I mean, Rogan's show has been the same for 8 years, so this was clearly when they very first started. What's that? Yeah. And it may or may not be true. I have no idea. Either way, he's not apologizing for it. Neither is Rogan. But people are now coming after Spotify saying, "Hey, man, the 2 biggest deals you've given out this year were The Ringer for $300 million and Joe Rogan for $120 a year." And now, over the last 3 days, everybody wants them canceled, and you're canceled, and you're canceled. So, I again, they'll be coming after everyone. I just wouldn't bow down to it if I were you. Now, Chris D'Elia is fighting back from being canceled.
He's fighting back? How?
Yes. So he released a statement saying, hey, everything I did was consensual, and I never knowingly went after any underage girls and everything else. Go to that last clip, Alec. Now this video is circulating, and it's called The Moment That Chris D'Elia finds out that you can save Snapchats, which is where these girls were claiming to have met him. Play that clip if you can.
But hold on a second. How did it come out? Like, how did they...
The boy's mother ended up finding it.
Finding it? What do you mean? It doesn't, Snapchat goes away, right? How they...
He probably saved it. You can screen record, take screenshots.
This isn't like slowed down or anything. They just put music to it.
I hate to laugh at shit like that.
I know.
Look, it's probably going to happen to us too at some point. And
it's true.
They're going to be like, oh, hey, Ross, what the fuck happened there, bro? So, yeah, man, it's...
Dude, like, I'm done. I'm done personally, yes, right?
Yeah.
You could probably carry on. Do you know what I mean? Like, I am probably the worst.
Here's the thing.
In the whole studio.
I established myself as the worst many, many years ago. So if you want to try to cancel me, you're going to have to go back like fucking 20 years on this shit. So, sorry about it.
And it doesn't end with the show. He's the worst all the time.
The worst human being on the planet. So
day and night. So it's like, come after him.
Yeah.
Anytime.
But I'm sure there's going to be, backlash over, and we've talked about this numerous times in the past. Like, I've been in blackface in a couple movies back in 2010 and 11, and I'm sure people will come after that. Now, granted, it was the same as Tina Fey. It was in the context of the film itself. Therefore, I'm just going to be like, look, if you're offended by it, I don't give a shit. Watch the movie. Like,
right.
Judge the context for yourself.
Right.
It was not in a racist or making fun of black people in any fucking way or any of that shit. So it was in the context of the movie itself. Even in Tina Fey's 30 Rocks, like if you remember those episodes, it was saying what was the worst thing like a celebrity could do at this point that a celebrity wouldn't realize.
It's very meta because it's making a comment about people that do that, whatever.
Correct. So again, if you apologize for it, that's when everybody comes after you and blah, 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 blah. And you're seeing the same statements out of everybody.
And, out of all these people, I'm sorry to interrupt, out of all these people, the only person that really should be apologizing is Chris D'Elia. And he's the only one that's saying, I didn't do it. Do you know what I mean? The only one that really needs to, apologize.
Yeah.
Because I think it's gone too far at this point. I'm not sure. I guess I hope that these girls are... this didn't happen to them and this is all some big thing that they're trying to do against him. I hope, but
here's the thing.
That doesn't really sound like
it also doesn't matter because once it's out there and people are going to have their own opinions just because they heard it or, read a blurb about it or whatever. And it sticks with you forever where it's just like, oh, wait, was that the guy who did this?
And Whitney, your friend Whitney
Cummings
has finally come out.
What does she say?
She's devastated. She is, disgusted. She hates that young girls can't be fans of comedians without being preyed on. Blah 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 blah.
By the way,
I was actually
Whitney's
waiting
an old
for
school friend.
her.
I've not talked to her in a very long time.
No. But
one of my first friends and all that.
They are actually good friends, and I would
Yes.
argue that he is anywhere that he is because of her.
Yes.
Because she vouched for him because he was always a little bit creepy and meh and weird. And when Whitney kind of vouched for him, put him on the show, really championed him, I think other people started to be like, okay, all right, we'll give him a chance, right? And so when she finally came out, I was like, okay. Because she's always been on his side when other people weren't, right?
You know what I think also hurt him really bad on accident was being in You. The hit Netflix show You. The writer's been on this show before. When you're playing that character in a famous series like that everyone has seen, that's kind of ingrained in your mind. Therefore, when you hear this come out, you can already picture it because you've seen it in a fucking TV show where you're like, there was probably underage girls in the basement. Like, that's all. That was my first thought when I heard
it. It was my first thought, too. I go, how bold to fly that close to the sun for him.
Look, and I have no idea whether
Hide
or
in
not
plain
any of
sight.
it's real, and I want to repeat that because I don't want to rush to judgment when I really don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know. And look, I'm sure we'll find out and blah, blah, blah. But, Fighter and the Kid talked about it as well. Brian Callen and Brendan Schaub.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't know whether it's true or not. Brian Callen just said, look, man, he's always been a ladies' man. I hope it's not true. And he goes, I've never seen it in my presence. And, that's pretty much all you can say about it. But you also don't know what somebody does behind closed doors.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the consensus with all the other comedians that he associated with was basically he fucking fucked.
Yeah.
That was just something they all saw. There were girls constantly, not underage, not whatever, but just
right.
He was the one that got all the fucking girls, and that's all they saw. So I don't think anyone had any oh yeah, I saw some shit one time. It was just he could literally get anyone he wanted. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another hard part of it too, where it's just with the Bieber thing we talked about yesterday.
Right. Why?
These guys don't need that. So it's hard. Some of these are hard to believe where you're just man, there's no way.
It's not, Bieber's a little bit different, but with Crystal Lee, I don't think it's he didn't need to do that. It was he felt like he was so powerful, so above everything that he could actually do the sick shit that he's always wanted to do and got away with it.
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean? So it's it's not I need to groom a young girl because that's the only way I can get pussy. That's not it. It's that he knows. He's just so drunk on power and everyone was loving him. He's in the Rogan Mafia.
Yeah.
He's fucking could do no wrong. All of his friends are you're such a god, bro.
The issue
he really
is,
just thought he could get away with.
The issue is when you're that famous, you can literally go to whatever hotel you're staying at. You can literally go down to the hotel bar and fuck anybody you want. And he
would do that, but it wasn't what he really wanted.
Maybe.
And so he got a little bit confused that he could actually do whatever he wanted, right?
Maybe.
And that's really in all aspects of celebrity, right? And power. They get delusional in that, and I'm not just talking about this, I'm talking about anything. They get delusional in that they can do and say anything they want because they're in this bubble of that, right? They're in this bubble of people always just saying yes and cowtailing and what do you need and what can I get for you and what can I do for, oh, I got you, man. They're lawyers saying, don't worry, I'll take care of it. You know what I mean? And they get fucking crazy.
Nah, who knows? But his statement says, all of my relationships have been both legal and consensual, and I've never met or exchanged in any inappropriate photos with the people who have tweeted about me. It's pretty much the stock standard statement that everybody's using these days.
Sure.
And I understand it. I think for him, if he
It's
came
all
out
you
and did a podcast about it, would probably be the most helpful thing for him personally. Do a show and say, hey, man, here was the situations. Here's what I was going through. Here's what I did and didn't do. And I think if he's honest about it, he might be able to shake this off. His friends are super fucking famous, so it depends. And it depends on whether or not your friends will let you back in and be like, hey, man, we'll see. Hollywood is very cutthroat. And once something bad happens that you could possibly threaten someone else's livelihood, you usually get cut out of the fucking group real quick.
For sure. And I would venture to say that the Rogan clan, the Rogan Mafia, whatever it is just as cutthroat. If you aren't upholding what they all stand for, which is they're all, either family men or comedians or whatever, or they establish themselves as exactly what they are.
Right.
And there's nothing you're going to find out about any one of those guys that's going to be like that. Right.
Yeah.
So I think you have to kind of have a certain level of, even if you are fucked up, they need to know that you're fucked up and you tell the world that you're fucked up. Do you know what I mean? And that's your comedy and that's your brand and whatever. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how this shakes out. It's definitely not over, and more comes out. It's an ongoing saga.
Yeah, yeah. The latest to try to get canceled was Andrew Jackson last night. That was a fun one to watch.
What do you mean you watched them try and take it down, or?
Yeah, so I had heard there was protesters in D.C. outside the White House, and then I was on Twitter and Andrew Jackson was number one. And I always click on to see whatever number one is, just to see whatever the news story is of like, all right, the fuck is Andrew Jackson trending for, right? Because Andrew Jackson he's the creator of the Democratic Party.
Right.
He invented it. He's on the $20 bill. It's Andrew Jackson.
Right.
They tried to tear down his statue last night, very Yellowstone style.
Okay.
So there was about, if you can pull up a picture of it, it looked like about maybe 8 to 10 different ropes from all angles. And they had
it's a
gotten
strong statue, huh?
a really strong statue. They could not pull it down last night.
Get it down.
But you can see these people from like all sides of it.
I see that. I think I see it right there.
Yeah. It was in the evening, and they're trying to yank
I don't know. Oh,
there it is. There you go. Put that picture up on the screen. They're trying to yank this fucker down. Somebody's got the horse head, and then they got the neck of Andrew Jackson, and then somebody else is up there trying to attach some other rope to it.
And they're just... all the rest of them have come down so easy.
They could not get this statue down, which I'm surprised. Most of the people protesting are Democrats. So I guess it's nice to see that it's all equal. I guess Andrew Jackson owns slaves.
Look, anyone at a certain time
Sure.
that was white.
Abraham Lincoln didn't, so.
Yeah, I guess he didn't, huh?
No. And that's what I think a lot of people forget was that was the issue back then was the Democrats wanted slavery. The Republicans did not.
Right.
Abraham Lincoln was the one that ended up changing it. But I didn't even know. Andrew Jackson owned 150 slaves at the time of his death. And he created the Democratic Party, huh?
He never quit.
Yeah, and he never quit at all.
He never quit.
No.
He got a statue.
My question is this, and I've said this over the course of the last week and a half. I did not know about any of these people.
Just in general?
Yeah, well, like Aunt Jemima or Uncle Ben and all that other shit, like never dug into it. But what I will say this, in all fairness, I was never taught this in history about Andrew Jackson. You learn about certain aspects of presidents and people. I didn't know he had 150 slaves.
I guess
where are all these historians coming from? Like, is it?
I just assumed, right? Because if you know anything about the years that they were either active or rich, right, or of a certain, Democratic or whatever political party, then you probably just assume that they do, right? It was just a thing.
I guess. I mean, yeah, he had a large plantation and all that other shit, but I find it odd. If you're going back through history now, which clearly everybody is over the course of, the last month or so, however long these protests have been going on, it's just hard for me to fathom how, like, they expect, like Joe Biden expects every black person to vote for him. That was the party that was against. I mean, they wanted slavery back in the day. I don't understand how it changed over the years to where now if you're not black, if you're not voting for Biden, how it flipped so dramatically to Democrats. I don't understand that twist in history, where that started or how that happened over the years. Because you look at Joe Biden, he worked with they were still segregationists who were in Congress.
Yeah.
Back in because he's been in Congress for 47 years at this point, right? It's not really that surprising. I mean, civil rights was in the 60s, so you kind of expect it. But he was working with segregationists who were trying to get certain bills passed. And I understand that was a part of history, but I'm surprised everybody's overlooking it now. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But it's nice to see that, look, if you're going after Andrew Jackson the same way as you're going after Confederate soldiers and all that other shit, like, I understand it then. Like, as long as it's equal, you're going after everything.
They just want to erase all of it.
Yeah, so it is what it is. Dan said it best. He was like, look, I think statues belong in museums. You want to go to a museum or whatever. Why is that a constant reminder of whatever the fuck is going on?
Yeah, and I've always said that too. Like, whatever it is like that makes someone feel better, it's no skin off my, like, I don't care either way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've never gone, like you said, to look at statues, to read the plaques, ever. So to me, if it really is causing you that much
pain and suffering,
like take down the statue. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Like I'll never.
It is what it is, but this is bleeding over into everything now. You know, Bubba Wallace, the NASCAR driver, great. He's a great NASCAR driver. Black driver, I think the only one, the only black one in NASCAR. They found a noose in his garage last night and said that they would be, whoever, the FBI is now investigating. They said whoever did this will be, you know, basically fucking executed at the full extent of the law.
I mean, was it that one NASCAR truck driver or whatever that was like,
no, he's not there. Yeah. He's not there.
NASCAR's response to that was pretty good.
It was. I don't know if you remember this story a couple years ago with the Smithsonian. This happened. Whenever there was the last, you know, Black Lives Matter movement, the Smithsonian claimed that they found a noose in the African-American history thing. All right, so there's a ton of cameras in there. They magically disappeared and there was nothing. They couldn't find whoever placed this in there. In NASCAR, in these garages, there's a ton of fucking cameras in there. If you can't find whoever did this within 48 hours, it's crazy to me. That is some of the most expensive equipment in the entire world inside those garages. You can bet your sweet ass there's fucking cameras on every square inch of that place. If nothing turns up with this in 48 to 72 hours, man, and I hate to say it, but like, dude, they were calling out Jessie Smollett last night. They were like, look, man, you better turn over this fucking footage because we want to see this. I'd have a hard time understanding if they said we can't find the footage of this. That's what I really want to see. Because if it, you know, the 1 day span that it happened in, how is it not out now?
Yeah.
I find it odd, but we'll look. There's some conspiracy theories that are floating around the internet right now. I'm still stuck in, and not that I don't believe it, by the way, because I don't want to say that, because it very well could have happened. And fuck, whoever it was, get him the fuck out of there, put him in jail, do whatever you're going to do. But I'm questioning everything I see and hear, same as what we were talking about yesterday. And it's like, man, I really can't believe anything one way or the other. And it's tough. And people are starting to keep secrets on things. And it's bleeding over into everything. It's bleeding over into sports. We were talking about it before we came on air with our producer, Alec, where there is athletes that are hiding the fact that they have COVID because they don't want to get their sports canceled. And that's going on. There's universities that are doing it right now because they don't want their sports canceled. And they want to try to play through it like, because if the media gets a hold of it, the first thing they're going to do is cancel it. Cancel baseball, cancel football, cancel everything. And some people don't want to be canceled, man. They want to make money and they want to earn a living. And I think you're seeing this a lot now. And I wonder if it's going to happen with this upcoming election in the fall. Because there's been a lot of articles written in the last 24 hours. The new polls have come out that have Biden up by 14, 11, 12 in some polls. No poll has him not leading by double digits, Joe Biden. And everyone's saying the same thing. Hey, man, in the last 24 hours, starting to feel a lot like 2016. All the polls were the same. Everything was the same. What's going to happen when people come out and vote? And I don't know at this point because I don't know what to believe and I don't know what's going on. Usually I have a pretty firm grasp on all this shit and I can give you a pretty sweet prediction. Right now, though, I kind of question everything where I don't really know.
Yeah.
And the way everything's being set up for, you know, mail-in ballots or polls being closed, because that's another huge story today that's going on in Kentucky. There's a primary in Kentucky happening today, and they're saying all the polls are closed, and in particular for black voters, there's one station set up for polling station for 600,000 registered voters. The problem I have with it is the media has been fighting back and forth over mail-in ballots versus showing up. Well, today you want people to show up in Kentucky, but they closed it down for COVID. You said they should close it down for COVID. Now you want them to open back up. The way all of this is playing out for this current election, I don't think whoever gets elected, Biden or Trump, people are going to believe it. And I don't think people are going to stand by it. And they're going to think there's some sort of conspiracy. And it's kind of the same way I think now about a lot of things that I see and read, where I'm like, is this real? Is this real? Is this a conspiracy? I don't know what's going on. And it kind of scares the shit out of me. God, and I don't know. Even the Bubba Wallace thing, I don't know, dude. I'd love to say yes. I fucking hope this is real, and I hope nobody would lie about this or nobody would plant something like that. But I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you saying that he did it, Bubba?
I don't know.
Because really, whoever did it, it's still the same sentiment. It can't not be real if it's up.
Right, but could it be like a Jessie Smollett thing? I don't know.
That he did it?
I don't know. That's what was
a bold statement.
That's what was happening last night on Twitter. So I want to preface this by saying on Twitter, Bubba Wallace was trending 1, Jessie Smollett was trending 4, and people were comparing the situations and saying there's got to be footage in that garage.
I've seen multiple interviews with Bubba and even with this Confederate flag thing and stuff. It would be really, really, really a hard stretch. And I'll actually go as far as to say I 100% don't think that he put it. Now,
I agree.
Was it somebody in NASCAR that was trying to justify taking the...
Now, this is what I'm
not sure, but no matter what it is, it's the same sentiment to the guy that walked into the garage,
correct.
Right? So... to me, it doesn't matter who put it up there.
But
it's all a problem.
What you just said is kind of where I lean with this. Did someone within NASCAR say, hey, guys, we're getting some pushback on the Confederate flag thing.
It's the first thing I thought, but...
let's really push the racism thing and just throw a noose in there and kind of abolish all of it. Get rid of all of it. And that way we can totally clean up racism from our sport and try to have it a more crossover sport.
Sure. Or it's people like that one truck driver, right? Like they're very small percentage, but they're out there that he was just like, fuck this. Like I need the Confederate Army flag, by the way, not the Confederate flag, but like I need that flag to be in NASCAR or I'm going to fucking retire. I'm retiring next year. I'm not going to stand for this. Like there are real people. Like he is a real person. Yeah. He wasn't paid. That wasn't fake, right?
Yeah.
It's a very small percentage, but they are there. You're right. I would like to see some kind of footage of these thugs or whatever doing this.
Yes. So I will reserve judgment until then, but
I 100% though.
I want to see what happened.
100%.
I think there
it's
should
not.
be an answer.
It's not Jessie because it's not the same as Jessie.
We hope.
Smollett. No, there's no way that he did it. There's no way. Jessie, I thought day one.
Did you really?
Day one, I was like, this motherfucker.
I wasn't sure.
He's drama, dude.
Because again, when you rush to a judgment, people are going to judge you one way or the other. And
I never said it out loud. I said it behind the scenes, and we were like, dude, this feels weird. Not in the same way as this.
We did a show about it, and I said the same thing I'm saying today.
Yeah.
This seems weird, and it feels like where you are, especially where he was in Chicago, there were so many cameras. I'm like, there's got to be footage of this. Sure enough, there was. Same with this NASCAR thing. I know there is camera footage within those garages, and I want to see who did this and what it is, and I want to see this publicly outed. Because if it did happen, and it was some fucking shitbag who is truly that racist, I want to see them outed publicly. Yeah. On both sides of this. But again, the media is so fucked in everything that's going on right now that I question all of it. And I never really did this much. But every story that comes out, I'm like, well, what if it's this? Or
It's
what if
when
it's
it's
that?
like, okay, so a noose in the garage. It's like, I could see a racist motherfucker doing that.
Yeah.
The Jessie Smollett thing, it was like I was beat up in the freezing cold. I got noose, bleach, MAGA country. I mean, it just kept, like, there's some times where it's just like, come on, right?
But do you know how to tie a noose? I'm being completely dead
No.
serious. I don't either. And so I don't know a lot of people who do in this life, like know how to tie a noose.
Mm-hmm.
That element is still
I think it's,
hard for me to wrap my mind around of like, all
I
right.
don't know if they were like professionally done, like in like a hangman's like noose. I think it was probably just like tied and hung. You know what I mean? I don't think it.
I'd like to see it.
Look,
Because I think that would help you too, right?
Did you see Jessie's though? Because it was like a tiny piece of yarn.
Exactly. And
it wasn't a real.
Yes. And once I saw it, I was like, oh, you fucking did this shit, dude.
I'm only laughing because he did it to himself.
Exactly. But if you get to see a picture of it, that would help you too. It'd be like, oh, that's some dumb idiot. Like, you know.
Oh, and it's just like a piece of yarn and there's a little.
If it was a professional
knot.
noose, you'd be like, nah, maybe that was.
Maybe that was somebody who knows how to.
For.
I'm sure everyone in the KKK knows how to fucking do a real noose, right?
I don't know, man. I have no idea. I have no.
Put that up there.
Do not put that up there.
What?
The fucking ear pods?
Why?
Yeah. What do you think? Somebody left some ear pods in there tied up?
I'm just saying, like you don't know, what people are thinking. No.
But yeah, it's
whatever. I mean,
strange times.
Yeah.
Strange times indeed.
Strange times.
And I don't know what to think. Fauci's going live right now, by the way. This is breaking news.
Oh, no. Is he testifying now?
Yeah, he is. Is it fucking... Who's with him here? Who's these fucking dirtbags?
I forget who they were saying.
Who gives a shit?
It's
Fauci, who I've now hated, who I've now hated, is saying that he is cautiously optimistic that we are on track to have a vaccine by early 2021.
But what do you want us to do until then? Fauci!
Fucking party. He's wearing a...
Oh, he wants us to party? Cool, we'll do.
No, he does
I don't
not.
need
He
to hear
does not want us to fucking
I don't
party.
need to hear anything else. All I heard was that he wants us to party, and I'm done listening.
He does not want us to party.
But I'm gonna party anyway.
and by the way, to show you what else is going on, like on Twitter right now, what's trending is Mel Gibson.
And I know, did you see that?
And I go, did he say something else?
To Winona Ryder, right?
What did he say?
Is that what it is?
No, it just says, hey,
so
man, are we bringing up old Mel Gibson
So Winona
quotes
Ryder said that he once asked her if she was a Jewish oven dodger.
What?
What? Mel! Mel, you're Australian, bro.
A Jewish oven dodger? I've never heard that phrase before.
It's because you're not an anti-Semite. But
No,
I guess if
no,
you're
I'm not.
deep in that world, you probably hear all kinds of stuff like that, right?
I guess, man.
Where did he get this fucking hatred?
Here's the thing.
For Jews, dude.
So I did a movie with her. She does not look anywhere near Jewish at all either. Like, at all. Nothing is
she may
Jewish
be.
about her.
I'm not sure.
I doubt it, but either way, she does not look Jewish to me. Like, that's a weird conversation starter to be like, hey, man, are you
a Jewish
oven dodger?
Like what?
Yeah, she doesn't look Jewish at all.
Her father is Jewish.
Wait, has described herself.
No, her
okay.
father
Her
is
father
Jewish.
is Jewish, so yeah.
Immigrated from Russia, so he's a Russian Jew.
There you go. Man, Mel called it. His Jew radar is fucking top notch, apparently.
Calm down right now, dude.
I feel like
Calm down,
I feel
dude.
like I'm the dumbest person ever now. These last 2 weeks, I don't know anything about Aunt Jemima, the fucking heritage. I don't know anything about who's Jewish or...
Even you saying she doesn't look Jewish
right
is rough, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think there's a lot of people that you'd be like, oh, really? Like...
Okay. I've got a lot of Jewish friends. All of my agents, managers, lawyers, everyone was Jewish. Every single one.
And
Hollywood
they looked a certain way.
Hollywood is controlled by the Jews. They have got a mafia, and it's great. Like, good for them. They fucking own it, dude. They own that town. Them and the gays, dude. Gays own that town too. That gay mafia shit everybody was talking about. Remember in the mid 2000s, everybody was talking about the gay mafia. 100% real. Fuck, man. I'd convert. If I could, if you could throw me in Fast and Furious franchise, Jabes, bop it on. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, the gay mafia, dude. That was 100% real.
Yeah.
My agent was one of my, I think 2 of my first agents were in the gay mafia. Like, the power they have was just unbelievable. It was, bravo.
I think Andy is gay and Jewish, so that's why he's running the
double
world.
rainbow, dude. Yes, he runs the world. Runs the fucking world, dude.
Anyways, we're not going to go down this road, but that's why Mel Gibson is
When did he say this to her?
tronding. I don't know. She just said it.
In passing?
You know, well, it's this thing of like, oh, are we telling, you know, it's like we're all at the party and people are like, oh, are we telling stories about when another celebrity fucking was weird to me? Okay, I've got one. That kind of seems like what's happening right now, right?
I guess so.
Oh, you're oppressed? Me too. Let
Yeah.
me tell you what somebody said.
Yeah, man.
So this was her little party trick, party starter.
I guess so, but are we also gonna forget that Winona Ryder fucking stole a bunch of shit from a store and went to jail for it? Like there was a trial. We're gonna forget that. Remember the shoplifting? Type in Winona Ryder shoplifting. I mean, it was on camera. Nobody's saying anything about that.
I mean, I don't feel any sort of way about that. Do you? She was all fucked up on drugs and she was stealing shit.
As rich as she was, stealing all that fucking shit from store.
Well,
And
we
she
do
was
know
just
that she's
stuffing it in her
mentally.
purse.
We do know that she's mentally unwell. Right? Do you remember that?
I can neither confirm or deny that, but I can confirm that.
Yeah. So she's
Very polite, but she's
polite, but she's that like skittish
aloof.
kind of.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, get your meds right, kind of thing, please. And we are
yes.
hoping that you do.
Yeah.
For your own safety or whatever. But yeah, she was
Yeah.
whatever. That like does not bother me in the slightest. Right?
Grand theft and vandalism. What did she fucking smash? She smashed a bunch of shit, so she stole $5,500 worth of merchandise and then vandalized something?
Do you know how many items that is at Saks Fifth Avenue?
3.
2,
Yeah,
probably.
3 items.
Little tiny things.
No, I remember seeing the footage. She was stuffing shit in her purse. Like, it was pretty funny. And it went
It's funny,
to a full
but that's
trial.
somebody that's like unwell, right?
God, who was it? Was it Garrett? I think Garagos was her attorney in that trial, and he fucking lost. Yeah.
Garagos does not have a great track record.
No.
Why do why do people keep hiring him?
Namey. Yeah, pull it up there. Show that picture right there.
And this is another, okay, I hate to go full circle, but this is another thing of someone
There's cameras everywhere.
being delusional in that I'm Winona Ryder. I can do whatever I want, right?
I mean, phew.
My lawyer will get me off, or I'm just going to do this. Like, everyone's going to look at me. They're never going to think that Winona Ryder is stealing something, right?
Yeah.
Is what's happening in her mind.
And the other thing is,
because she's so in the bubble.
Because there's nothing going on in Hollywood, people have nothing but time on their hands right now to sit behind a fucking screen and just be like, oh, this person was racist, or this person said this, or this, or this, or this. And there's no other distractions going on in the world, like sports or anything else.
We all want to be at the party, right? We all want to be at the this is what somebody did to me party.
I don't know.
I'm not invited because I don't really have anything, right?
I don't know if I want to be at that party anymore. Alec today, our producer, was just like, hey, man, I'm not sure I want to live in this world anymore, and I get it.
He's fine. I mean, he's not going to call 988, which is the new suicide line.
Is it really?
Well, they're trying to unveil it. I saw it on the Today Show. So instead of that long, the suicide hotline, I can't tell you what it is, right? I know, and I still don't know it.
Yeah.
They tried to make a whole song. They tried to ingrain it, but now they're trying to make something that is like 911 and just ingrained in people's minds in the same way, because especially right now, we're putting more importance on mental health as well as calling 911 if your
I understand.
balls are shot off.
I fucking get it, man. There's been some weird fucking stories. I'll tell you this one in a second, but I want to bring up the last person they're trying to cancel in the last 2 days.
Okay.
Jimmy Kimmel. They are going hard after Jimmy Kimmel right now.
Is that why he took time off?
Yes. So
did he know this was coming?
I don't know. Megan Fox had said something, and she was one of the first people to stand up against a dude in Hollywood. In this case, it was Michael Bay for Transformers, and be like,
she's taking that back.
What's that?
She's taking that back.
It's fine, but
okay,
and it's fine that she is.
Oh, okay.
But they pulled up a clip from when she was on Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Kimmel starts asking her about it, and she is talking about it because the Kimmel that you know of the last 3 years is a made-up fictional person that is for television to make the most money he possibly can.
He is crude. He's misogynistic.
Yes,
he is
he's a
all
fucking
these-
dirtbag
he's a
like all of
du-
us.
He's a
dude.
He's a dude.
He's
dude,
a
dude,
He's a dude, just like all of us. The problem is when you try to change it and become political and an activist and all that other shit, which is what Jimmy Kimmel has become.
I actually believe that he has changed with his kids and his wife and his life and his money and all
Sure.
of this, but it doesn't take away the fact that very recently, not too far, you can reach back to the time when he was that guy. Just
Right.
saying. I'm not saying that he, right?
So the reason with the problem with Jimmy Kimmel, or why people have an issue with him, is because he's been out against all of these people, bashing everybody, calling everybody out. Everybody's like, hey, man, you got skeletons in your closet as well.
Sure.
Let's not forget. There was also a video of him in blackface, or black body. His entire body was black to play Shaquille O'Neal. It was a sketch. It was a comedy sketch.
Sure.
And nobody said anything about it at the time, obviously. But then now everybody's digging back into everything. And, you can put that up on the screen. Yep.
Blackface,
yep,
though.
yep,
Why'd you
yep.
just say black body?
Black body. He's a whole.
Well, I'm saying
that's
like
him.
and blackface. I
That's
thought he
what I said.
only did his body.
No. I meant the entire body. Like,
Oh my gosh.
So,
Wow. Wow.
at the time, like, look, man, he was doing Karl Malone. It was a bit on the show. Karl Malone was on the show.
Sure.
Nobody cared.
Right.
Now they do.
Now they do.
But again, it's because Kimmel switched and became this activist and, hey, we need to do this and this and this and
Yeah.
this. If he'd have just remained a dirtbag, it's fine. Who is his co-host? Adam Carolla? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Carolla's still doing the same shit.
Yeah.
Dirtbag. Never tried to clean himself up and be like, hey, man, I'm an upstanding citizen.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Same with me. I'm not ever going to tell you that I'm an upstanding citizen. I'm going to
no.
remain the same
no
dirtbag
one
forever.
would believe that.
No.
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 No. But I have gotten messages, like, not only DMs, but like just on my feed blatantly of people saying, hey, man, are you going to change? Like, is this next book, are you not going to go as hard? Are you not going to say the same shit because of everything that's going on? No. It's going to be the same. So
actually, it's
get
actually
it while
like
it's hot
the
because it'll be gone.
It's actually the perfect comment on the Times, your books, because they're set in the times that people are talking about, and people are acting in accordance to the year
Correct.
that they're written about.
Yep.
And
I don't want to say my fingers on the pulse, but it's on the pulse. But for those of you who have asked that, no, nothing's going to change. I mean, this, I'm doing edits on it now. I finished it, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Doing the final edits now. The cover's done too, which I'm amped about. You got to see it the other day.
I'm excited about that.
Same. It's great. God damn, that
just
guy's
love
super
that
fucking
vibe.
talented too. Same.
Probably more
It's 20s. Yeah, it's 1920s.
than the other ones, yeah.
And anyways, no, like it is hard as fucking nails, dude. But I'm sure that'll be banned too. The first one, or the last one, was for like 3 weeks on Amazon before they actually read it. And they
Yeah,
were
we're
like,
gonna
oh.
have to figure out a different rollout for this one.
There's nobody on the cover of this one. Like that one had, Harriet Tubman on it. So there's no one on the cover of this one.
Name is on it.
Yeah, it is.
And you are a marked man.
Goddamn
in the
right.
publishing world.
Goddamn right I am. Now the daddy was numero uno in the world. Coming after me, baby. Coming after the New York Times bestselling awful, baby.
Wait, who is this voice? Calm it down. Calm it down.
It's me.
Oh, okay.
It's me. It's my super excited voice, baby.
Oh, okay.
Why? Were you expecting that to be someone else?
No, I mean, it just had a twang, a certain kind of twang.
Oh
to
my
it.
God, are we judging voices now? Jessie, Jesus
It just had a little
Christ.
bit of a twang. I don't know.
What?
Nobody knows. I mean, nobody would
The
know.
You Like It girl is now fucking judging voices. Come on, Jabes.
Hey, don't try and get your own show canceled.
We're above the law. No, we don't say anything on this show.
It's like the CVS worker that tells me to go to the self-checkout. Like, she's right at the register, and I'm like, do you understand that you're getting rid of yourself right now? And it's like they don't even, they just point you to this thing and show you how to use it. And I'm like, your
thing.
job, you're getting rid of your job.
Yeah.
Do you have a backup plan?
Yep. No, they don't. They don't. But we get a job because of our sponsors. We went hard today. Ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. Kids, best in the biz. Best in the mother grabbing biz. Right now, you get 25% off everything in the entire store. Mattresses, sheets, pillows, adjustable bases, you name it. They got it all at ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. If you get a mattress, you get 2 free pillows right now. And the pillows are incredible. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today. As always, they got a 36-month pay-as-you-go program. No interest, and that's still applicable. Applicable.
I suggest the
the
Lux.
Dills. Get the Lux.
Get the Lux. Get the cooling.
Get the cooling mattress.
Summer
Hot as
is
shit out
going
there.
to be a hot one.
It's going to be a scorcher out there. So get the cooling mattress. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today. Next up, we got StrikeForceEnergy.com.
Boom, 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 boom. Shibblinkers.
Shibblinkers. 4 amazing flavors. I'm tongue-tied now, James. Ooh. That Strikeforce is really kicking in. Is the air on too? It's hot as shit.
I know it's a little bit
hot,
to be honest. Okay.
Yeah. Strikeforce Energy has got 4 amazing flavors: grape, orange, orange, and lemon. Again, lasts longer than 5-hour energy. No carbs, no sugars. You can pump it into anything and you're good to go. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com today. The box shows up same as it is 7-Eleven, right to your fucking house. Promo code Revolution, 20% off. We free shipping, too, to everywhere in the world. Maybe not. If I lied to you on that, I apologize. Last but not least, James, Keeps.com/revolution. Bang, bang. Keep the hair you got. Everybody was remarking on my Justin Bieber hair yesterday.
Loving it.
They were like, dude, I didn't know you had that much hair. And I was like, yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah. I mean, they weren't loving it, but it was appropriate.
Yeah, it was appropriate for the show,
yeah.
obviously, because they tried to cancel Bieber.
Sure.
But it'll keep the hair you got on your head. 3 out of 4 men going bald. So if you are out there, order it, keeps.com/revolution. It'll keep what you got in over 90% of cases. Use that shit, dog. 30-day free trial. So you don't have to buy anything. Just try it for free and see how it works for you. That's what I'm doing for the end of the year, Jabes.
Do it.
What's going on in your world, Bachelor-wise? I've heard some rumors that they might cancel the Crawley chick. Is that true? The 38-year-old?
I think they should. I don't think they're going to, though, because they want to stay with the Bachelor, same Bachelor then Bachelorette, Bachelor then Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Right? Format.
Yeah.
But, gosh, people are really not even wanting to see that one.
Because it's her, or they want the black Bachelor on?
Well, he will be on, and he is going to, so he's going to be the Bachelor.
Okay.
But
are they going to flip-flop seasons, or how's that going to work?
Well, they're going to do hers. As of right now, they're doing hers.
Mm-hmm.
And then his season is going to be next. No matter who is a standout Bachelor, no matter who does well on the show or who you're rooting for, which usually ends up being the Bachelor, right?
Right.
So, like, whatever the fan favorite is from that goes whatever. So what they're saying is no matter what happens in her season, James guy is going to be the next one.
Got it. Okay.
And he was actually, I don't know if I talked about it on this show, but he was actually cast in her season first. And did an interview, and she was like, if you're doing interviews already trying to get clout for being on my season, then you're in it for the wrong reasons.
Oh, God.
Boy, is she is just
here's the deal.
Striking out at every turn. I hate her already.
Yeah.
Done with her already. The season's going to suck already.
Right.
So would I love to skip it? Yes.
Right.
But I've got to see this old ass.
Yeah, look, they're going to shove her right in your face.
They will.
And that's kind of going to be it for that. But whenever somebody says that about The Bachelor, I'm always shocked, where it's like, hey, man, you know what The Bachelor is, right? Like, everybody's doing it for some form of social media clout or money or whatever. Like,
at this point, anytime they try and act like super genuine about it, it just makes me
crazy. Makes me crazy inside. Crazy inside.
But yeah, I mean, I guess that's happening in my world of Bachelor.
As if you needed 2020 to be more 2020, there was a 7.4 earthquake that just happened in Mexico. That's a big one right now. Oaxaca? I know I'm definitely not pronouncing that right.
What is it?
You've been all over Mexico. OAXA something O. Do you know Oaxaca?
Isn't that Georgia? Oaxaca?
Are you Mexican, Giorgio, or were you lying about that earlier? You are. You don't know that city?
Oaxaca, right?
It's
How the fuck do you
Oaxaco,
say it?
I believe. No one knows.
No one knows. But
No
anyway,
one knows. Yeah.
well, they'll find it.
Yeah, how do you pronounce that?
How do you pronounce it?
No one knows.
Ah.
Oaxaca? I don't know.
There's gotta be
Are we doing an X like a CH?
Where's the pronunciation? Oaxaca.
Whoa, Oaxaca.
Oh, Oaxaca.
Oaxaca. Not even close to Oaxaca. I think, look, Jessie lied about her Mexican heritage for 35 years. And,
Yeah,
Giorgio,
which is why I don't.
it appears as if you've done the same now. Oaxaca.
Anybody, yeah.
How do you get Oaxaca out of Oaxaca?
I guess the C is an S.
Fucking A. The floor is lava. You know?
Right.
Amazing.
Amazing.
But yeah, if you're going through COVID and now a 7.4 just hit right in your backyard, it's probably time to
Pack it in.
or to try to plug yourself into the rest of the simulation world, because that's definitely where we are right now.
Do you want a cream corner?
Do you have one?
I do.
Good. So I want to do a real life one after this.
Oh,
So-
do you want to do it first or
No,
after?
because this one's real, and it's a strange one. So
Oh,
yeah,
Okay.
It just happened last night, and the details are kind of murky, but go ahead.
okay.
Crime corner, crime corner.
Crime corner. So guy eats ex-girlfriend's pet fish, poops it out, and then sends her a photo of his poop with a caption that says, "Found your fish." He just got arrested, so.
God, I had to inhale on that one because I could almost smell it. I could smell the poop in the fish. Was the fish still alive? Did he live through this?
No.
He did not.
So this is actually 2016, but it's a goodie.
That's fine.
It's a goodie.
That's fine.
So Maxwell Taffin, he was 18. He was attending an LSU Ole Miss game.
Goddamn right he
in
was.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Grimy motherfuckers party.
Exactly. So him and some friends were staying at his ex-girlfriend's house. And when he left, I don't know what transpired that night, whatever. When he left, he said, "Check your fish tank," to her. And she was like, okay, what? So this guy ate her fish.
Is it a goldfish?
Goldfish, whatever. Okay. And then later on took a picture of the fish in his poop.
Dead.
Yeah. After he told her, check your fish tank on the way out from staying at her house. I don't know what text he found, whatever. And so he sent her a picture of the fish in his poop and said, "Found your fish." Now, again, I think this is hilarious.
Yes.
I think it's perfect antics for
Not all heroes wear
for
capes.
LSU, for Baton Rouge, for Ole Miss.
That whole
I
area.
think everything is perfect here.
Wow.
So
Yes.
so he said to the cops, he said, "Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I ate the fish." Like, he's just
That's
like
exactly
such
what
a
I
little
said.
dick, dude.
That's
He's
exactly
such a
what I
little
would've
dick.
done.
He's 18. He's like, "What are you going to fucking get me for anyways, right?" And they're like, "Well, animal endangerment and misuse of telephone communications." He's like, "Cool, fuck you." And they told him to show up to the campus police. He didn't.
No.
So he's since 2016, he's on the run, but I guess he was arrested Tuesday, almost 3 years after this poop
Really?
incident. So
if I was his lawyer, I'd say, find me the shit.
Yeah, I
find
mean,
me
proof.
that shit, dude. I need proof.
I need
no
proof.
body, no murder.
I mean, she probably has the receipts on her phone, but just saying.
That's fine. But
The
you could
fact
have
that
said,
they
"Hey, man."
really, I mean, they still haven't found, children that have been
Jimmy
missing
Hoffa has never
for
been found.
20 years.
Yeah,
Yet 3 years after this
Yeah.
little incident, they've somehow arrested the fish
Yeah.
eater and pooper.
What's his name?
Tiffin something, Maxwell.
Can you put his
Taffin.
picture up on the screen here? Because that's a hero. That's a hero, and they should be recognized. It's not. We're living in a world now where everybody's being torn down. Or
Look at this.
we should
dickhead.
celebrate true heroes. Put that on the screen. You can block my face with it. It's fine.
Of course he's a Maxwell, I think. Yep.
Maxwell, what's his name?
Maxwell Taffin.
Oh, Maxwell Taffin. I'm a big fan of
of
your work.
Louisiana, of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
And if you're listening to the show, text me that picture, bro. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see that shit with a fish in it. You know what I'm saying? Real proud of you, Maxwell.
Yeah, brother.
Big move.
You really
That's
lived
a power
up.
move,
You really
dude.
lived up to your fucking name.
I'm gonna be honest. Had I thought of something like that, had I had the
The
foresight,
first thing I thought of
Ross would have done
was this is something Ross would have done.
yes,
100% as I read it.
yes,
I said this frat kid was like,
it's amazing.
fuck you, bitch. Guess
He's a
what?
hero. The only thing he did wrong was show up with a mugshot that was incorrect. Like he should have worn a fucking Spuds McKenzie T-shirt or something. You know?
Okay. I think he looks, I mean, his collar just needs to be popped a little bit.
Yeah,
but
pop up
other
that
than
collar. You got to pop.
Other than
that,
that,
up.
I think
Pop
he's
it up.
pretty on brand
Yeah, I mean, look.
for Maxwell Taffin.
Yeah, I would have gone maybe an Old Row T-shirt or a Spuds McKenzie or you know, something classic, faded, something retro.
Sure.
You know, or you know, I'll go the obvious, like a Dora shirt, like a Dory, Finding Dory.
Almazing. Or
I
like
almost said
those,
Dora the
those
Explorer.
glasses with like the fish.
Which is
that
even
are in them.
worse.
Yeah.
Dora the Explorer, looking for the shit. No, Finding Dory would have been a good one to wear for that mugshot. But good for him.
Dora the Explorer.
It was after a football game.
Yeah.
Ah, it's great. You know how drunk you are after a football game?
That's what I was saying.
To
and
do
they
shit like
stayed
this?
at this girl's house.
Great. It's so great. Good for you, man.
I'm sure,
Fucking
you
A.
know, if I were to like speculate of how the night was going, yeah, they were full on wasted. They couldn't
Yep.
find a car, right? Which you never can find a
Never.
taxi or whatever. My ex lives in the dorms over here. Let's just see if we can stay with her.
Getting out of that stadium is difficult too.
Then
A lot of
that
traffic.
night, he
Yeah.
was with his buddies. He was like, fuck this bitch. Watch this, guys. Ate the fish.
Yeah.
Little, you know, in the morning, check your fish tank. Then
Yep.
the poop happens. He's still a little bit buzzed.
It's great.
Sends
All
the
of it's
pic. All of it's great. And all of it is just a little.
Should be cherished. Should be cherished.
These are the types of things we need to be talking about, and not all this other shit.
No, of course.
You know?
Of course we should. So the real life crime corner that I want to end with today is a weird one for me personally.
Okay.
Sometimes in Hollywood, there's these mystery guys who have a fuck ton of money and start financing movies.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really know much about them. Some of them just want to meet celebrities or hook up with celebrities or whatever the deal is, and they'll finance movies. And you don't really know what their true intention is or why, right? There was a guy named Steve Bing. If you can pop him up on the screen, Steve Bing.
Yeah, I read this story.
You read the story, right? Well,
I mean, just that.
when I was in, so you can put the one, pop that picture up, right? So there was this, when I was in Los Angeles, this guy was kind of in the film world. He was throwing like big parties and shit, but like you didn't really know him or know what he did or anything else. And he became super famous for the weirdest reason ever. He knocked up Elizabeth Hurley.
Right.
Who is crazy hot.
Sure.
One would think you would be proud to have knocked up Elizabeth Hurley and have that be your wife.
Right.
He denied it for like 2 or 3 years. And finally, he was forced into a paternity test.
Oh, if you see the kid, by the way, spitting image.
Of him? Mm-hmm. No shit.
He's grown up now. He, she, whatever it is. So
Yeah.
look at.
Oh, yeah.
Look
shit.
at
Yeah,
how
pop up
much
that. Holy shit.
that
Oh, man.
is
Put that
his
picture up.
exact son, right? Am I right?
Yeesh. That's crazy,
Oh.
man.
Anyway.
But all I kept thinking was when this story happened at the time in LA, I was like, man, you were the only person on earth
That would deny that.
deny having Elizabeth Hurley's baby.
Like if you're
That's
that
madness.
rich, if you're that rich too, like who fucking cares?
Well,
like
And not only that, but that was my next response of like, hey, man, like you're that rich. What the fuck do you care?
see your kid.
Yeah.
Make sure he's taken care of. What's the issue?
So it was a really odd story, and he was an odd guy because he would put money into movies that were totally different and off the like reservation. Like I remember he put money into a movie called Get Carter with Sylvester Stallone. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Strange.
Right.
But then he followed it up by putting $100 million into like Polar Express. You know, remember that
Yeah.
Spielberg, Tom Hanks cartoon movie.
Right.
And there was never really a rhyme or reason to it. And when the Elizabeth Hurley thing came out, that he was finally the father and all this shit, it kind of dug into his past, and he had inherited $600 million from his father at age 18.
Okay.
So
is he trying to like?
I guess you're gonna be weird as shit. Like at that point, like.
But is that just
tax
that money? Stuff at that time? At that point, if you're giving money like that to
I don't know,
movies?
but there's
Kangaroo Jack.
So anyways, he died. There's two conflicting stories here, because he was on the 27th story of this building in Santa Monica, this like high-rise condos, and I've been in there. I know how gigantic of a building this is. It's like you have to be super rich to own a fucking unit in this goddamn place. He fucking allegedly, the first story said he hurled himself off the balcony.
Right.
Today's story says he fell off the balcony.
Oh.
I don't know what the real answer was.
Well, they are saying suicide. So in every story that I read, it's suicide. So.
Right, and then it changed this morning and said he fell off the balcony, but police aren't suspecting foul play. And the first one to give their condolences was Hillary Clinton. I was just like, and Hillary Clinton said, "I hope he found peace." What did she know that we don't know?
What?
Yeah. I mean, it's so odd that I was like,
cryptic, bro.
I hope he's finally
if you
found
fucking killed somebody,
peace.
That's if you're a real crazy person.
I'm sorry, it was Bill Clinton who said this. Either way, same fucking person.
I don't know. It's a little bit weirder with Hillary, but anyway.
From Bill Clinton, I hope he's finally found peace. So there's conflicting stories of whether he jumped or whether he fell. He's only 55 years old. He's rich as shit. I don't know what's happening here.
I loved Steve Bing very much. He had a big heart, and he was willing to do anything he could for the people and causes he believed in. I will miss him and his enthusiasm more than I can say, and I hope he's finally found peace.
That's from Bill Clinton.
What the fuck,
Yes.
Bill? Didn't even know you guys kicked it. I didn't even know you guys hung out. Right?
The whole thing is so odd, and I'm like, all right.
So more probably, this is an ongoing tale, an ongoing saga. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more that's going to come out, right?
Man. Yeah, it's so weird, dude.
People that
So
fall off
fucking
buildings
weird.
or...
And in this building in particular, like...
It's a rough one.
You've got I'd say it's about a 4.5 foot, 5 foot, like a ledge. So for you to fall off of it, you had to take a dead I don't know how you fall off it, to be honest with you.
Well, you don't fall, but like,
Do you pay
ways...
somebody to say, hey man, this was a suicide versus he fell off? Because if it's a suicide, I don't think anybody gets that insurance money. This is why this is a real life crime corner to me.
Okay.
When you have a guy that's that rich, if it is designated as a suicide, you don't get the money, right? The insurance money.
Oh, which is why they maybe changed it.
That's a bingo for Jessie.
What are they showing right now?
That's him. That's the body.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A real body.
That could have been you that found it. If you were jogging on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Can you imagine it falls right in front of me?
Would you want to find that though? Split open and all that shit?
No. I want it to be remains.
Okay. Yeah, Jesse wants to find like an arm or something.
Yeah.
But it's like a skeleton
I just want to see
arm.
it
Like
could
a hand?
have some cadaver-like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like the skin's very tight. There's maybe some like hair in places, but you can't really make out like a face or anything. I want it to be like a couple fingers out of. This is my dream. I mean, if I'm running,
Sure.
I just want to like look to the side, which I always do, and I just want to see some like fingers kind of there.
Yeah.
To where you're like, what? Nobody else sees it because it just looks like sticks, but I saw it, and I found it. And then I pull out the rubber gloves that I carry in my pouch, my running pouch, which I do every time, just in case.
Yeah, just in case you find it. The first thing that I thought when I saw the story, though, was he caught up with the Epstein thing, man? All those guys used to run together.
Close
a lot of
friend
money.
And associated with Epstein links. Found dead, and Clinton's the first boy. Well, we shall see.
He was a mega donor to the Clinton campaign, both Hillary and Bill. I don't know. It's a strange story, man. Whenever a guy who's worth $500 million awesome just decides to jump off the side of a 27-story balcony, rich as fuck at 55 years old. Like at 55, you're still fucking every day. You know, you're still enjoying life. It's not like you're, I don't know, 89 or something. You're just like Kirk Douglas. Like if he at 101 just wheeled himself off the fucking, top of the roof, you'd be like, all right, I get it.
Just like,
you're 101. You're tired of it. Yeah, exactly. With Bing though, dude. I know what you were thinking. Did he create Bing? Your favorite
know.
Search
Well, because
engine?
that's my favorite search engine. I actually go to Bing first for everything.
Put that picture up right there of
and then
Kirk
Ask
Douglas.
Jeeves and then Google.
Yep. Put that picture of Kirk Douglas up right now. I'm just saying, just put that picture up. Is it up on screen? Great. This is Kirk Douglas at 103 years old right now.
He did not even think about killing himself.
No, never had one thought of it.
He was happy as a clam right there.
Double the age of Steve Bing. This motherfucker never decided to wheel himself out in the middle of traffic because he was in a wheelchair for the last, 8 years.
All right. Well, we don't know. We don't know.
No
what
idea
happened with this guy.
Strange story, man, and it keeps popping up. Definitely don't put that picture up. Okay, maybe do. Just real quick for the audience, for the video show. If you're subscribed, subscribe to Drinkin Bros podcast on YouTube. Put that picture up. Is that up? Yep. That's Kirk Douglas. And if there was a person who was going to off themselves because of what was going on in their life, probably would have been Kirk Douglas. Jessie is walking off the show.
We're so horrible. Like, he was the one we were just like, stop wheeling him out. And they would just keep wheeling him out and giving him awards that he couldn't even handle. Carry.
I know.
He couldn't even grab onto them.
Oh, can't even hear it anymore. Can't even hear it. Go to Ross Patterson Revolution on iTunes. Give us a 5-star review and a quick little write-up. That'd be great. Give us a little 5-star thing and a quick little write-up.
Just rate and review,
Rate and review, and then subscribe to the podcast video-wise on Drinkin Bros Podcast. All of the shows in our media company are on there. Thanks for being with us today, kids. We appreciate it. Nico the Greco was first in the room. He ended the streak of Ruben Schneider.
Rubes.
First in the room on YouTube today.
You're slipping, Rubes.
Yeah, slipping, Rubes. Nico's got the belt today, brother. For Jesse Wiseman, a.k.a. The Jables, I'm Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good afternoon, everyone.